Here are the top stories for today, May 29, 2020. The Department of Education says there will be no face-to-face classes when schools reopen until everyone's safety from COVID-19 is assured. President Duterte maintains he will not declare martial law amid the spread of COVID-19 in the country. Suspected NPA rebels burned down a church and several houses in Misamis Oriental. And the DOH vows to resolve the backlog in its COVID-19 testing laboratories. Good day, I'm William Theo. Welcome to the PNA Newsroom. The Department of Education, or DepEd, on Thursday clarified that there will be no face-to-face classes when schools reopen this August. In an online press briefing, Education Secretary Leonor Biones said there will be no face-to-face until safe, but they can still provide learning opportunities to students through blended and distance learning. Briones said that while face-to-face learning or traditional classroom setup is preferred mode of many people, the ongoing health crisis may not allow it by August.
What is the so-called blending or learning modalities? Because right now, there is a bill which is filed in Congress on this. One, for those who don't have connections, who don't have interactive facilities, there will be what we describe as printed material, which will be delivered to the homes of the students through the barangays, can be picked up also by their parents at designated places within coordinated schedules. We'll be working very closely with the barangays and the local governments. And the second approach is now very popular, Mr. President. This is the online learning platform. And we in DepEd, we have what we describe as DepEd Commons. Now, for those who don't have access to interconnectivity, then we have television. PCOO is volunteering its TV facilities and also IBC 13, which is radio, for the utilization of lessons through radio and television. Radio and television for those who don't have access to a computer.
President Duterte expressed support for the blended learning strategy of the Department of Education. Duterte said he is impressed with the simplicity of the program and he believes it will work for this school year. He said he supports DepEd and he will look for funds if needed.
Just to, well, kung wala na tayong pera, edukaran lang sa edukasyon sa mga bata. We will have to forgo many things along the way because of what happened. But education, I think, if it is compromised, it should be negligible, so that it should go on, because the future of this country depends on how we educate our young people nowadays. I agree with you in this program. I support you. And if there's anything that we can do, the ALG and or whatever, we will
Thank you very much, Mr. President.
endeavor to help you.
Meanwhile, President Rodrigo Duterte has appealed to schools to offer staggered or installment payment options for students. He also ordered Land Bank to provide loans for those who could not afford to pay their tuition at all.
Yung tuition ho, sana, I hope that you'd allow a staggered payment or installments lang po sa mga eskwelahan. And for those who have really nothing to come up to sa bayaran, you have the land bank, and kindly listen to the rules. Kasi itong land bank, bubuksan namin and you can borrow money to finance the education of your children.
President Duterte has urged local government officials to extend help to COVID-19 patients by expediting their hospitalization without worrying about expenses. In a public address late Thursday night, Duterte asked them to assist COVID-19 patients regardless of nationality, assuring that he would shoulder the cost of their hospitalization.
This I would like to convey to the mayor. Help anyone, not even Filipinos, foreigners, who are in your place and who go to you or who goes to the municipal building, the seat of governance of your municipality to seek help. You should expedite the hospitalization. Tulungan ninyo yung mga Pilipino. Total, I will pay for the expenses. Walang problema yan.
Duterte also reiterated his call for local government units to accept returning overseas Filipino workers, especially if they have tested negative for the virus. Over 16,000 overseas OFWs in various quarantine facilities in Metro Manila have been sent home as of May 27. Around 300,000 OFWs are expected to return to the country this year. Checkpoints and curfew will still be part of the new normal despite the transition from MECQ to GCQ, and sex for past victims are urged to come forward. More on this from Benj Bondok.
Joint Task Force Coronavirus Shield Commander Lieutenant General Guillermo Eleazar said checkpoints and curfew regulations will remain a part of the new normal situation with the easing of community quarantine restrictions. Currently, quarantine control points are deployed in specific areas for private vehicles, while dedicated control points inspect cargo and delivery trucks. Mobile checkpoints conduct random inspections of private motorists. Eleazar explained that the strict implementation of the community quarantine rules, which include curfew, has been found to be effective in preventing more infection and deaths from COVID-19. In other news, victims of COP's supposed Sex for Pass scheme are encouraged to come forward so the government can launch a proper investigation. This as some cops deployed in quarantine checkpoints are reportedly trading sex for a quarantine pass amid the imposition of a nationwide community quarantine.
Tinanong po namin sa PNP, wala naman na pong complainant, no? So, kinakailangan yung 7 na sinasabing naging biktima ng sex for pass, kinakailangan lumantad po kayo, magreklamo. Kung kayo po'y natatakot, pumunta kayo dito sa aking tanggapan. O di naman po kaya doon sa Women's and Children's Desk na meron po tayo sa lahat po ng istasyon ng mga pulis.
Meanwhile, the Philippine Embassy in Dili, Timor-Leste organized a humanitarian flight to repatriate overseas Filipinos. The humanitarian flight's passengers included 35 overseas Filipinos, 4 Japanese, 10 South Koreans, and an American citizen. Other Filipino recipients of these humanitarian repatriation were tourists affected by canceled flights, overseas Filipino senior citizens with underlying health problems, and workers displaced by the COVID-19 pandemic. Philippine Ambassador to Timor-Leste Abdul Maid Muin said travelers have to complete a 14-day quarantine upon arrival in Manila. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Benj Bondok.
The Department of Transportation said it will gradually allow public modes of transportation in areas under general community quarantine. Vehicles allowed under Phase 1 include trains and bus augmentation, taxis, TNVS, shuttle services, point-to-point buses, bicycles, and tricycles subject to the prior approval of the concerned LGU. Meanwhile, Phase 2, covering June 22nd to 30, will allow public utility buses, modern PUVs or jeepneys, and UV Express with limited passenger capacity. DOTR also reiterated the new normal guidelines, such as wearing of face masks at all times, implementation of no-contact measures such as cashless payments, use of thermal scanners, availability of alcohol and sanitizers, disinfection of high-touch surfaces of vehicles, establishment of disinfection facilities in various public transport terminals, and contact tracing. The transformation of EDSA will include designated lanes for bikes as well as pedestrian crossing and bus boarding areas in strategic places. Still to come, President Duterte maintains he will not declare martial law amid the spread of COVID-19 in the country. Suspected NPA rebels burned down a church and several houses in Misamis Oriental. More on these when the PNA Newsroom continues.
Ano ang General Community Quarantine o GCQ? Ang General Community Quarantine ay tumutukoy sa pagpapatupad ng mga pansamantalang hakbang na naglilimita sa paggalaw at transportasyon, regulasyon ng mga bukas na industriya at presensya ng mga unipormadong personnel para ipatupad ang mga protokol ng community quarantine. Ito ay ipinatutupad sa mga lugar na nabibilang sa moderate risk at low risk areas batay sa bilang ng mga kaso ng COVID-19. Sa ilalim ng GCQ, patuloy pa ring ipapatupad ang safe physical distancing at pagsusuot ng face mask. Ang publiko ay pinapayuhan din na palaging maghugas ng mga kamay. Anong mga aktibidad ang pwedeng gawin sa ilalim ng GCQ? Pagbili ng mahahalagang bagay at serbisyo. Pagtatrabaho sa mga opisina o industriyang pinahihintulutang magbukas. Sino-sino ang mga mananatili sa bahay? Sino mang wala pa sa 21 taong gulang? Mga nasa edad na 60 taon at pataas. May immunodeficiency, comorbidity o iba pang may panganib sa kalusugan. Mga buntis. At kabilang na ang sino mang kasama sa bahay ng mga binanggit. Ano-anong industriya ang maaaring mag-operate sa ilalim ng GCQ? Unang kategorya ng mga industriya. Pangalawang kategorya ng mga industriya. Pangatlong kategorya ng mga industriya. Ang trabaho sa lahat ng opisina ng pamahalaan ay maaaring magbukas ng ganap o sa ilalim ng katulad na alternatibong paraan ng pagtatrabaho. Walang hotel o mga katulad na establishmento ang pinapayagang magbukas maliban sa mga nagbibigay ng akomodasyon sa mga sumusunod. Ano-anong aktibidad ang ipinagbabawal? Malakihang pagtitipong hindi autorisado, di kailangang gawain, may kaugnayan sa entertainment. Hindi hinihikayat ang mga pagtitipong panrelihiyon. Suspendido ang mga residensyal o harapang face-to-face klase sa buong panahon ng GCQ. Maaari bang mag-operate ang mga pampublikong transportasyon? Ang mga sektor ng kalsada, riles, maritime at aviation ng pampublikong transportasyon ay magbubukas ng may bawas na operasyon at pansasakyang kapasidad. Ang mahigpit na 1 metrong distansya sa pagitan ng mga pasahero ay dapat sundin. Pinapayagan ang limitadong operasyon ng mga mall at shopping center maliban sa mga establishmento at mga serbisyong panlibangan na maaaring sarado. Lahat ng pampubliko at pribadong proyekto sa konstruksyon ay pinapayagan. Aling mga industriya ang hindi papayagang magbukas? Mga establishmento sa paglilibang, pagsusugal at fitness. Industriyang pambata at panturismo. Pinapayagan ang mga individual na ehersisyo sa labas gaya ng paglalakad, jogging, pagtakbo o pagbibisikleta sa mga lugar na nasa GCQ. Ang kooperasyon ng bawat isa ay kailangan upang maging epektibo ang pagpapatupad ng GCQ nang tuluyang mapuksa ang COVID sa ating bansa. Stay safe, stay at home.
You're still watching the PNA Newsroom. President Duterte maintained that he has no plan to implement a nationwide martial law amid the COVID-19 pandemic. He attributed the fast progress in the government's fight against COVID-19 to the law enforcers' strict implementation of quarantine protocols.
Repeat, there is no martial law in the Philippines. Far from it. We are exercising the power of the state to protect public health. That is all there is to it. Yan lang ang trabaho na at makita ninyo, we are progressing at a very fast rate because we were able to put in place the rules to be followed when COVID came in like a storm from the outside. Huwag kayong matakot that there will be no arrest, detention, or anything. It's purely, if at all, if there's any intervention or interdiction done by the law enforcement agencies. Pati yung military, the role is just to implement the law. They are called upon to assist the civil government.
Duterte appealed to his fellow Filipinos not to take for granted the relaxation of community quarantine status in the country. Beginning June 1st, Metro Manila, Davao City, Cagayan Valley, Calabarzon, Pangasinan, and Albay would be downgraded to general community quarantine from modified enhanced community quarantine, while the rest of the country would be under modified GCQ. Duterte reminded the public that the entire country is still under quarantine.
Remember, the COVID microbes are still in the air that you breathe, that you pass on to your fellow men if you are not ready or willing to wear the mask. It is precisely, this is the protection, not for you, if you do not want it, but for the protection of the other guy. And that is why the state has every right to control your movement if you pass on a contagion to the other to the population. To prevent a mass contagion, gusto namin putulin kung saan namin maputol to stop it.
Budget and Management Secretary Wendell Avisado said there are still lots of financing requirements to address the COVID-19 response, but they will just make do with what the government currently has. Under the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act, Congress allowed the government to pool funds from lesser important projects to have the needed financing for COVID-19 response. However, the government will not ask Congress for a supplemental budget due to lack of additional revenues. Avisado said what they need to utilize is the combination of monetary and fiscal policies that can still be tapped. As of May 28, Avisado said the DBM has released more than 350 billion pesos for the COVID-19 response. Armed men, believed to be Communist New People's Army combatants on Thursday, burned down a Christian church and 4 houses early morning in the Misamis Oriental town of Opol. Police said at least 10 armed men were involved in the attack based on witness accounts. No civilian injuries were reported. The Misamis Oriental Provincial Police Office said the attack was a handiwork of the NPA's ACE company led by a certain decoy. Before the incident, the insurgents figured in an armed confrontation with the military in Mainit, Iligan City. The provincial police has strongly condemned the burning incident, saying the attack shows their motive to pursue their lawless acts and add burden and suffering to the community as a whole amidst this COVID-19 pandemic. Iloilo is shifting to a modified general community quarantine after the local government declared the province as low risk. Meanwhile, Zamboanga City plans to remain under general community quarantine until June 15. More on these and other news from the provinces from Janice Cabe.
Iloilo Province is already adjusting quarantine guidelines as its general community quarantine will end on May 31. Governor Arthur Defensor Jr. said on Thursday the province is already considered as low risk as per the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases. Low-risk areas like Iloilo Province shall be placed under MGCQ until June 15. The governor said the shift of the province to MGCQ will be a big help to the economy. The governor said despite the downgrade, it is still important for the Ilonggos to wear face masks, maintain safe physical distance, and practice proper hand washing. Meanwhile, Zamboanga City would remain under general community quarantine until June 15. Mayor Maria Isabel Climaco Salazar announced on Thursday that based on the decision of the IATF, the city is among the moderate risk, highly urbanized areas whose GCQ status has been extended. The other parts of the region, such as Zamboanga Sibugay, Zamboanga del Norte, Zamboanga del Sur, and Isabela City will be placed under modified GCQ until June 15. In other news, starting June 1, the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao is under GCQ. Interior Minister Nagib Sinarimbo said some measures would be relaxed, such as the use of quarantine pass, provided that safe physical distancing, use of face masks outside homes, and regular hand washing are observed. He urged the public to cooperate with the regional government, citing the need to focus on rebuilding the heavily affected economy, employment, infrastructure development, among others. For the PNA Newsroom, I'm Janice Cabe.
Up next, the DOH vows to resolve the backlogs in its COVID-19 testing laboratories. And frontliners in Antique receive a weekly supply of fresh milk. The PNA Newsroom returns after these reminders.
Mga mommies, pagdating sa COVID-19, dapat hindi tayo kampante. Bagamat hindi nakikita ang sakit na ito ay nakamamatay. At hanggang ngayon wala pa rin lunas. Kaya protektahan natin ang ating pamilya. Laging maghugas ng kamay, huwag hahawakan ng mukha, at manatili sa bahay para makaiwas sa sakit na ito. Tandaan, buhay ng pamilya natin ang nakasalalay dito. Let's hear this one.
Hi Caps! Kamusta?
Well, ito dahil sa COVID-19, medyo stress.
Okay lang yan, Caps. Napagdaanan ko din yan.
Ano kaya pwede natin gawin, no?
Kung nararamdaman mo na gulong-gulo ka na sa mga naririnig mo, sa mga nababasa mo, mag-pause ka muna, saka ka huminga ng malalim.
Buti na lang tumawag ka. Iba talaga pag may nangangamusta.
A strong body starts with a strong mind.
Tama. Let's heal as one.
Alamin ang tamang paraan ng pag-ubo upang mapigilan ang paglaganap ng Coronavirus Disease 2019. Ugaliing magdala ng panyo o tissue. Kung uubo o babahing, takpan ang buong ilong at bibig gamit ang panyo o tissue. Kung walang dalang panyo o tissue, maaaring gamitin ang braso na pantakip. Kung nakararamdam na kailangan umubo o bumahing, agad na dumistansya sa mga tao sa paligid. Huwag dumura kung saan-saan, gumamit ng tissue at itapon sa basurahan. Ugaliin ang paghuhugas ng kamay at paggamit ng alcohol o hand sanitizer upang mamatay ang mikrobyo. Basta't sama-sama at laging handa, kaya natin to! Isang paalala mula sa DOH, PCOO, KBP at ng himpilang ito.
The Department of Health is set to resolve the testing backlog in all DOH-accredited testing laboratories for COVID-19 across the country. DOH Undersecretary Maria Rosario Vergeres said 33 out of the 43 laboratories have zero backlogs and they are awaiting updates from other laboratories. To date, there are 34 licensed RT-PCR laboratories and 9 licensed gene expert laboratories nationwide. The DOH is anticipating 125 more laboratories, which are in stages 3 and 4 of the licensing process. Earlier, Vergara said the DOH has instructed the laboratories to reduce the backlogs in 2 to 3 days as ordered by the Office of the President. And in our foreign news, the International Committee of the Red Cross on Wednesday signed a joint declaration condemning mounting attacks against the World Health professionals amid the COVID-19 pandemic. In the declaration, the ICRC said it has recorded more than 200 incidents of violence in over 13 countries since the beginning of the pandemic. The signatories said that healthcare workers and facilities and medical vehicles should never be a target of intimidation and harm. They urged governments, communities, and weapon bearers to respect and protect healthcare at all times and to contribute to creating a protective environment in which healthcare can be provided safely. The statement was signed by other groups such as the International Federation of the Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies and the International Council of Nurses. In sports, the Department of Education is likely to retain physical education in the curriculum as classes resume amid the COVID-19 outbreak. The Philippine Sports Commission Chair William Ramirez said Education Secretary Leonor Briones assured him that she would fight for the retention of PE in the curriculum. Ramirez submitted his position paper to the DepEd after Senator Sherwin Gatchalian proposed to temporarily remove PE along with other subjects due to COVID-19. Gatchalian has reportedly proposed to retain only key subjects such as math, science, English, and reading in the coming school year. Meanwhile, Senator Pia Cayetano is also pushing for the inclusion of PE among the classes to be offered under the DepEd's proposed blended learning modalities. She also suggested educational programs that promote regular exercise among children. In Antique Province, frontliners are getting fresh dairy milk every week rationed for free. The fresh milk distribution was an initiative of the Belasan Multipurpose Cooperative in partnership with the National Dairy Authority to help frontliners as they combat COVID-19. Dan Roel Sabog, in charge of the milk donation at the Integrated Provincial Health Office, said the cooperative has been a great help to health workers of the Angel Salazar Memorial General Hospital, the provincial hospital in Antique. The Belasan MPC also delivers milk to the Belasan Municipal Health Office and to the Antique Medical Center in San Jose de Buenavista. Sabog said that they also gave milk to the frontliners manning the checkpoint in Belasan. The cooperative has engaged in dairy production supposedly to supply fresh milk to malnourished school children in public schools. Let's take another look at today's biggest stories. The Department of Education says there will be no face-to-face classes when schools reopen until everyone's safety from COVID-19 is assured. President Duterte maintains he will not declare martial law amid the spread of COVID-19 in the country. Suspected NPA rebels burned down a church and several houses in Misamis Oriental. And the DOH vows to resolve the backlog in its COVID-19 testing laboratories. Thank you for watching another episode of the PNA Newsroom. To check out more news content, check our webpage or head onto the Philippine News Agency's Facebook and Twitter accounts. For more stories about the government and how it serves Filipinos, look for these hashtags in all of our social media platforms and websites. We are shown on the pages of the PCOO and its attached agencies. Also watch us on television on PTV4 and IBC 13. And since Monday, June 1st, is the first day of a general community quarantine, we urge everybody to still follow safety protocols to be able to stay safe and to avoid any second wave or any increase in COVID-19 cases. So as long as we work together, we will be able to combat this pandemic. And that's your daily dose of the biggest stories that you need to know from the PNA Newsroom. I am William Theo. Good day.